got to a point where, everything sort of almost came crashing down, and I should have been at the top of the world. I was born on 20th of December 1971, brought up in Frenchs Forest, lived there for most of my childhood. And today, as you know, I live at Collaroy. I've got beautiful family, Jules, and my 3 kids. And of course, how could I forget little Daisy, our golden retriever. She's about 20 months.
It's quite hard to describe my dad in a few sentences because he is really amazing. He's a very kind, loving dad and great cook. Love his food. That's probably one of the best parts. He's always trying to get us to reach our goals. He's always encouraging us to go further than what we expect ourselves to do. He's struggling to get us all around because there's 3 of us. We all play a lot of sport. A lot more now because of what's going through with my mum. But he does it in the end, and well, that's all you can really ask for if he can get us all around.
So it's probably 2.5 years ago. I sort of had a bit of a, I guess you could say, a bit of a breakdown or was really struggling. And my wife had been going through stage 4 non-Hodgkin lymphoma, and she'd been going through treatment. And I was in a, I guess you could say, a pretty stressful job, not a lot of support. And it got to a point where, everything sort of almost came crashing down. And I should have been at the top of the world because at that time my wife had been given the sort of all clear in terms of her initial treatment. And incidentally, as you know, she's going through now a stem cell transplant.
I kind of didn't understand what was going on for a while. He was very stressed at work. Every night he'd walk in the door late and then just go straight to the dining table with his laptop and just basically open it and just keep working. Kids were sort of clamouring for attention and he would just shout at us all. We were down at Longreef Beach. He just sat off by himself the whole time.
I remember it really well, being down at the beach and not really associating with people and talking. And I'm probably a pretty vivacious sort of guy who tends to engage a lot. And even at the time, I was thinking, wow, this is pretty odd. And I just didn't even feel up to talking to people. So I felt quite removed. And I think as a week or 2 passed, it became quite evident that I probably needed some help. After a bit of persuasion and some help and encouragement from friends and family, I decided to get admitted into Northside Clinic at St Leonard's. I was diagnosed with clinical depression and acute anxiety. The doctors were saying it's not uncommon for the partner who's supporting someone with cancer to kind of bear a lot of that responsibility and weight. And then I guess when you get the all clear or you get some good news, you tend to come crashing down a little bit. I guess when I got out of that, I had connected with Gus Wallen from Gotcha for Life.
I'm the founder and chairman of Gotcha for Life, which is it started off as a men's health prevention foundation, but really it's become a mental fitness foundation for everyone. We're trying to change the wording from mental health to mental fitness, make it a bit more positive, normalise it a little bit, and making people realise that just like physical fitness, everyone battles with mental fitness, and it just normalises the fact that you might have some issues, I have some issues, and we can work on them.
Come along, educate yourself to be a better friend and a better father, a better boyfriend, whatever it might be. The most important thing is we should be kinder and looking after each other a little bit better.
Mental health issues tend to go straight to the bottom of the barrel. People automatically start worrying. You know what? We're all bumbling way through life, so let's just normalise it and try to make it more accessible for everyone to realise that. Wardy and I came together. He actually came to one of our nights, one of our Tomorrow Man programs at Avalon. And I remember meeting him because he's just such a huge unit. And it sort of dawned on me that there's there's no discrimination when it comes to mental fitness. So even big burly blokes that seem to have the world at their feet and seem to be really strong, you know, that stereotype, if you like, he's perfect for that.
I turned up and it was incredible. I mean, there was 250 men who turned up, you know, ages between 16 and about 75, I think it was. And it was their biggest sort of workshop they'd ever had. And it was quite incredible to see some blokes talking about their feelings and where they were, whether it was drugs or alcohol, or, you know, one fellow got up there who was just devastated. His son had taken his own life and he hadn't seen it. And I think, you know, that was pretty incredible to see that. So, you know, I sat there and thought to myself, wow, what can I do which could really make a difference to the community? Because, you know, there's a lot of people not like me who, you know, don't have the support. You know, I've got good mates. I had a really good doctor, really good wife, even though she was going through her own challenges. And there's a lot of people on that spectrum who don't have that support. And I thought, gee whiz, what can I do to make a difference on the Northern Beaches? I got a bunch of mates together and spoke to a few of them, a guy called Sandy and Pedro and Murph and a few others, and said, look, I've got this idea and concept, and I run it by Gus.
He came back to me and said, I love swimming. I want to do a 24-hour swim, and I'm going to raise money for you, and we're going to put workshops on the beaches.
One of the guys from the clinic who I'm good mates with now and who's involved in Head Above Water came up with the name Head Above Water.
The whole idea of engagement with Head Above Water came from the initiative of one of our former prefects, and then with a head prefect the following year in creating a group called Big Bros. They saw the Head Above Water initiative and absolutely wanted to get involved with that. To get there, to see all of the students, the senior students and younger students who joined later on, that just felt like a wow moment for me. On one occasion, it was a really cold, dark, wet, rainy night. Really unpleasant, but you forgot about the weather because you thought about the larger cause that we were there for. This year, when we were up really early, and it was not an issue of someone not turning up. They were all there. And that sense of total engagement was really special.
Our prefect team all participated in it, and we went down that Sunday morning, and I thought it was great. You know, everyone was down there. There's plenty of activity and, you know, a lot of people. So I thought it was really good, just a different way to raise awareness about mental health. There's a lot been going on this year, HSC and, you know, COVID and everything like that, so it's a bit up and down, but I think exercise and, you know, just having a good close group of friends has really helped. You know, we all support each other and look after each other.
COVID has thrown us a really unique experience in terms of mental health. I can tell you as a mental health worker that it's had an incredible impact, particularly with young people. The numbers I think you could ask any therapist sort of in the area we're in, but I would argue probably Australia-wide, and they will tell you that they cannot keep up with the inquiry. We're all working harder than we ever have to try and accommodate people in need. We do know that boys/men are less likely to seek out support, and we definitely need change in that area. But I would argue that's already happening. Right now, my book would be split 50-50. I would see just as many boys and men as I see girls and women.
Ready? We've got school. Come on. Got your bags? Has everybody got a hat?
Yeah.
And you got a water bottle?
I think we've stopped, expounding the boys don't cry. So boys do cry, and boys feel just as much as girls. So we're moving into that space. We're not there yet, but we're getting there.
Being a bloke, you tend to want to be, the provider. You want to be a stoic. You want to, sort of be the man and try and do everything. All right, let's go. In reflection, it's easy now, but I should have sought some professional help. I know when most people or partners are going through cancer treatment, their husbands or wives or boyfriends or girlfriends or whatever can get offered some help, and I was offered that and didn't take it. And I look back now and probably should have got some professional help, because being a typical bloke, I went, I don't need that. What do I want to go and talk to someone?
With men, there's this thing of a man has to be a man. You can't show your emotions. You can't express them. You can show your emotions, but that's more in an aggressive manner. It would be so much better if men could help each other and learn to speak to each other and express their emotions as well and support each other. It would be good to get an avenue where, men can talk openly.
Hey guys, it's Wardy here from Head Above Water. Come on down, we're just setting up the swim at the moment. It's nice and early, and looking forward to seeing everybody. The idea is we run the Collaroy 24-hour rock pool swim sort of in March every year. We'd love to keep that as our marquee sort of event. But the idea is to take this nationally, and we've got some discussions underway around how we might do that.
It's really good to know that he's helping somebody, even if it's just one person.
And now he does chats for us. He's one of my ambassadors. I'm just so proud of him.